Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Adam's Quest. In the last episode, Isana made her way to our first safe haven, where she and her brother were hoping to get to know their tribe mates, and maybe prepare them to leave for the next safe haven, or even the next island. This one is so close to our ports that it would be a good place for us to prepare for the next migration. But I'm a little bit concerned because there are so many jungle trees out here. So surely one of them is going to house our very first ape. I'm really surprised that we haven't seen one yet. So it makes me think that the ones that will actually spawn them must be very, very close to our end goal. Wouldn't that be something if this one right here is where the ape is waiting? Right next to the ports, so we would have no choice but to find a way to deal with him. Whether that's leading him away with one of our other creatures, or destroying him with all of the strength that we can muster. Now that she's close enough to get a good look of this herself, I think she's starting to realize that it won't be so easy for her to just pack everyone up and take them into the jungle. In fact, we have a new family blooming over here. Hibiscus braved the piranha-infested waters, and now he has a little family to show for it. So Isana knows that it won't be easy to convince them to leave their babies. She probably thinks it wouldn't be right to do so anyway. So we'll give her time to think of a new plan as she fishes in the stream. Luckily, we have so many piranha in here that these fish literally have nowhere to move. I didn't actually know that these piranha fish work like the crabbits, and we can't land on the same tile that they're sitting on. So Hibiscus really provided us with some good information. And as Goldenheart watches the ease with which Isana is able to scoop up those fish, I'm sure she's thinking about the ways that Water Lily will be able to contribute to the tribe with her big claw too. But let's bring her over to Hibiscus's side, so he should be able to breed with her again. And then we can bring her down to the other berry bush that we have somewhere in this grass. It looks like we cleared it out. We'll just have to be mindful not to get too close to the hostile plants in that area. But this will be a great place for our little flower family to set up their nests too. I'll bet Chipper would be really eager to meet the babies. So maybe we could bring him up here for a little bit of babysitting, while Hibiscus tries to find some more food sources. We haven't explored the northern portions yet by all of this water, so maybe we'll find another berry bush hidden inside. Let's have him take a couple of berries for the road, and then we'll scoot him into that tall grass, as he knows Water Lily will be very well protected, with such a brave guard next to her. They might not know much about Adam's family or all of his stories, but they do know that these creatures are very good at what they do. They hunted down plenty of bunnies in their time, just like Amanita and Phantom, who must be considering where their lives are going to lead them to. With the third member of their trio already starting a grand family of her own, they can't help but wonder if the same is going to be in their future. But at the same time, I feel like they love exploring so much. They love sneaking around together in this tall grass, that they would be very reluctant to leave that life behind them. It certainly isn't very safe to have babies in the deep of the jungle. So unless they stumble into a particularly good omen, they're going to have an important decision to make soon. Now I'm super sad that this is Mirage's last day. She never was able to find a suitable partner to have a family all her own, but she did take care of all of our little jungle orphans, so she was an excellent mother nonetheless. Without her guidance, I'm sure they wouldn't have gotten this far, so they have a lot to thank her for, and I know that they're going to miss her when she's gone. Now, meanwhile, over on this side of the island, we have quite a few little flowers to reunite. Syriana is getting very close to the end of her days too, so as she picks up some more of these strange little fruits, we'll have her call out to the creature singing in the distance. Lyric has already put the remains of her mother to rest, so she could come over here to potentially meet Bluebell. Bluebell was quite curious of all of her songs too, and I know she would love to learn them, so Syriana's final days are going to be filled with the sound of their music. They can probably just barely hear those songs on the shores, where Almond and Poppy are currently waiting. Almond needs to guide Poppy back to her family, but she's a little bit concerned that they're not going to accept her so easily. She was born so far away from their territory. What if they want nothing to do with her? So it might take a little bit of coaxing, but Almond is not going to give up. He will carve that pathway straight up to the flower's home if it's the last thing he does. And it looks like we have a little bunny coming out to say hello to Mirage. Oh my gosh, how perfect is that? On her very last day, she has one last pesky little bunny friend looming in her shadow. Do you think maybe they're hoping that they can steal our berries now? Something tells me that is probably the case. Yup, there he is. Go ahead and pick up that meat for us, Hibiscus. Probably not his favorite snack, but at least he can offer it up to Water Lily. She's actually grown her second gem now, so she doesn't need anybody to babysit her anymore. She can scoot right on over to the water side and probably observe these fish as well. I bet she was watching Isana the day before, and she can't wait to try her hand at fishing. So Chipper will be a little bit disappointed that he doesn't have any more babies to watch after. But it's all well and good because Isana is ready to move. So luckily they do have a very adventurous duo off in these jungles too. And if they can't convince the new parents to go with them on their journeys, maybe they can come up with some sort of deal for Amanita and Phantom. Perhaps they could promise to pay these creatures in one of the greatest delicacies of the forest, as long as they help them by scouting ahead for danger. These two look pretty sneaky after all, especially little Phantom, so I'll bet they're hoping that he can weasel his way through all of these tall weeds and see if there's any apes waiting for them off in the distance. And in return, they'll give them some of these stinky fruits. I'm sure Chipper would be great at gathering them up, since he does have that stinky tail, so that should deter any of the smelling apes that might live in the area. And I guess in a way, this is the perfect thing to distract this pair from all of their heavier thoughts about starting a family. We'll just have Phantom dig out that grave for Mirage, and then they'll start making their way deep into these weeds. We'll have to clear out some of it before we can even move down there, so it's no easy task. But this is what they've been dreaming about for their entire lives. So let's sniff around now that we're so close to the opposite shore, just to see if anything is waiting out in that darkness. So far, so good. It looks like you guys are safe for now. So we'll have Goldenheart pick up the last of her berries. We'll have Water Lily see if she can find any special fish. It looks like we're down to just the piranhas. She's not quite strong enough to scoop it up in one hit, but the practice will be a great way to hone her skills. Now all of that lovely music is just growing louder in the distance. So Almond and Poppy have nearly made it back to the flower's old home. I don't think Poppy will find that she has very much to worry about, because of course this family was always so tight-knit. They would see that bright, vivid fur and they would know instantly that she's one of the jungle flowers from their family. Though Almond, on the other hand, with his sneaky dark fur, they might find him to be a little bit more exotic. While he's shocked by the bright purples and blues that they're all wearing, he'll startle them by melting to and from the shadows, almost like a little ghost. I don't think they've ever seen a creature who blends in so well with the shadows of the grass. Everybody in their family has always been very, very vivid. But that should be the end of our turn, so let's zoom in on Goldenheart and see what their second baby is going to look like. Oh, bringing the reins along with him. He doesn't have the spots this time, but he still has that gray fur, just like his sister, and they're even wearing the same claw. Unfortunately, no home island immunity gene, and it seems like that swimming tail is going to be a little bit trickier to breed out of our line than we hoped. I'm actually wondering if we should have placed the fishing tail into their genetics, especially now that the apes are nowhere to be found. So maybe these babies will have to consider that for their future families. That way they can clear out those ponds of all the piranhas. But we'll name this baby Foxglove, and then we'll return to the side of our scouts, because we have to make sure that they haven't stumbled into any apes out here. Yes, so far so good. It looks like everything is still quite calm out in the distance. So let's have Amanita clear out an area for Phantom to stumble straight into one of these stumps. Oh, excellent. This will definitely help you guys scout around for potential resources. We have the fish down here by the shore. I guess Amanita could probably scoop that up for a good snack. And there's still nothing out here that we can sense. So it might be time for you guys to make your way over to the stinky tree. We'll have Chipper do the honors. It's going to take 2 turns for Isana to lick away all of that juice, but thankfully she has just enough energy left to do so. So now we shouldn't have to worry about Chipper drawing the attention of danger, if there's any out here for us to even discover. So do you guys want to start making your way toward the safe haven? I mean, the tree is just a skip away. So let's have Phantom jump down to the shore and chase after the bunnies again. Oh, I guess you might as well dig up the root because you're still not quite strong enough to take the bunnies down. Do you think the bunny's trying to guide them into the tall grass? Trying to trick them maybe? Or lead them toward... Oh, something important! We actually have a healing fruit out here? Oh, that's a good sign. So if we do have any issues with the apes, at least we have a sure way to heal ourselves again. Those creatures are going to have to figure out very quickly how to use those plants properly. Now, Hibiscus, I guess you're going to have to stay here and pick these berries after all. We need somebody to keep our food supplies high. So just like your mate, we'll have you two prepare a meal. And I'm so sad that our little swamp flower has passed away. She was honestly one of my favorites. She looked absolutely gorgeous. We'll have Bluebell, I suppose, dig out this grave, following the instructions of Lyric, of course, as she sings a song of passing to remember their fallen leader. And now Poppy can truly introduce herself to the rest of her family, as Almond stays on the outskirts, watching proudly from the shadows. You know, these 3 almost remind me of, like, colorful little fairies, maybe? 3 fairies tending to the royal gardens. Their colors all just work so well together that I feel like they're going to be a perfect match. But I think we're ready to skip the day again, as the bunnies watch over the remains of Mirage. Let's make sure that the apes don't notice us now. Still no apes, but I swear I heard a growl. Oh no, Goldenheart! Goldenheart and her baby? Oh, this is the worst possible place for a bearyena to spawn. Oh no, they're so far away from anybody with the claws too. Aside from Water Lily, but she's still so little. She's going to have to dive in here. I don't think she has a choice. We have to protect Goldenheart. She's the only one left with the home island immunity gene, so there's no way that we can let her pass. And of course, Hibiscus, look how far he can dive. Oh, he knows that his family's in trouble. So he's not the strongest either, but since he does have the ram horns, at least he can hit the bearyena a little bit. Yeah, we're going to have to try to distract this bearyena, if nothing else, from tearing into a Water Lily, and somebody has a leech, really? Of all the possible times. Well, let's pick that off of you before we forget, but we have bigger fish to fry. This is such a tough decision. Do we have Goldenheart get in front of her baby? Little Foxglove? I mean, if the bearyena turns and decides to attack Foxglove instead, then he is going to be a goner. But at the same time, I'm not sure that we're going to be able to protect him enough, because the bearyena has so many opportunities to sneak through. And we have to be mindful of that carnivorous plant too. Oh, we don't want our baby to stumble straight into its jaws. It is awfully close, but we don't really have a choice. Let's scoot Foxglove into the tall grass, and then I guess we're going to have to move Goldenheart right in front of him. I mean, the one silver lining is that we do have so many healing fruits over on this side of the island, so she should still be able to save herself if this goes horribly wrong. Oh, the bearyena only has 6 days remaining too. If only we had Almond down here. If only he could get there fast enough. But I don't think he'll be able to swim through the water with all of those piranhas in the way. So let's scoot her over here instead. I know that leaves an opening for the bearyena to get to her baby, but at least it would have to move one extra step to get to Goldenheart, so it shouldn't be able to hit her twice. Oh, this is just awful. I don't think Isana can get back there either, because we have all of this grass blocking their path. And honestly, I don't even think that they'd be able to hear all of the commotion. They're in far too deep in the jungle. So carry on, I guess. We'll have Chipper gather up some more of those fruits, and we'll have her sister lick off the stinky juices as we clear out more of the tougher weeds, so we should be able to move around a little bit more freely in the future. That is the one problem with all of this thick jungle grass. It makes it very, very hard to get around. But the bunnies are still alive and well. I wonder if we should maybe carve a pathway straight over to the healing fruit, just in case. Now that we know there's so much danger lurking around here, we do have to be careful. So, you're super close to the safe haven. Let's see if there's anything out this way. Nope, still no apes yet. That's a good sign. So maybe that will be a good place for you to set up a family after all. Maybe they'll even find a little nest hidden under that tree, where they can keep their babies safe and sound. Things seem so much happier over here in comparison. Despite the fact that our High Queen has passed, we still have plenty of food, plenty of little plants to tend to, of course, including the other carnivorous plant on this side. I'm still not sure if they're going to pick all of the fruits here. I suppose eventually they probably will, and they'll let those carnivorous plants grow back, for better or for worse. Maybe our little toxic-bodied fairies will even be known for taming the carnivorous plants, who knows? But I guess this is it, the moment of truth. Oh, please don't turn around and attack our baby. Oh my gosh, you went after Water Lily? Oh, the poor thing, and she has hemophilia too. So she is really bleeding now. She is super injured. We're going to have to take her back to the healing fruits right away to make sure that we can get her some medicine, of course. But I know that Goldenheart is breathing the biggest sigh of relief. She knows that her daughter is the bravest in all the tribe. So let's take the bearyena out once and for all, and then collect all of that delicious meat too. We'll have Hibiscus tend to your wounds, and then finally take care of this pesky bunny. Oh my goodness, I guess Foxglove can do the same. You certainly had a very interesting introduction to this island. I wonder how that's going to shape his personality. Coming so close to death at such a young age, that would have to shake anybody, of course. But let's bring Goldenheart down to the mouth of her little stream, so she can see the familiar faces of the piranhas, of course, and so she can lead her daughter safely to the healing fruits. Now, how are you guys doing back here? Did somebody steal our healing fruit? Oh my gosh, who would do that? It was you! Oh, there's somebody already living back here? With tons and tons of moles and bunnies? Oh, this is interesting. Does she have the toxic body? It looks awfully strange in silhouette form. Well, that is definitely something worth investigating at the very least. So as you guys continue to pick up those stinky fruits, making sure to grab every last one to pay Amanita and Phantom, we'll have our little bandits try to figure out who would dare steal from them. One rather concerning problem is that this wanderer might be injured. Maybe they stumbled into one of those carnivorous plants, or maybe they happened to meet one of the apes. But so far, it still seems very quiet out here, so we might be okay. Maybe she already took care of whatever danger she found. Well, Phantom would probably be the best creature to sneak up on her, since he is so stealthy. Yeah, that is the toxic body. Oh, and she has the mask too. The mask is my favorite pattern for the toxic body. So before we get too ahead of ourselves, one last time, let's sniff around. Just to make sure that the apes are far, far away from our little critters. Then we'll see if Phantom and Amanita can get to know her. Hopefully she won't mind that we're kind of intruding upon her space. I guess she must have lived here before we came around. There's even tons of areas that she seems to have dug up right next to the molehills. Some of these are housing moles, of course, but others must be places for tasty roots. I hope she won't disappear as we finish off our day here, because I would definitely like our little bandits to try to invite her to the tribe. If she was able to sneak off with our healing fruit without any of our bandits noticing, then they definitely need to get on her good side. She must have some good little strategies that she could offer them. I think I still see her over there. Yep, there she is, deep in the water. Oh, what are you trying to find out here, little one? I don't think your digging paws are going to be too useful on the worms, though I suppose I could always be wrong. But yeah, let's go ahead and skip the turn one last time. Hopefully nothing else is going to disturb Goldenheart. Though I think I just heard a growl again. It definitely wasn't a bearyena growl, though. Oh my gosh. Oh, of all the times, of all the possible times to find an ape. The big-eyed ape, and he is older too. Oh my gosh, that means he's been around here for like the entire time that we've been on this island. He's just been lurking back here, waiting for us to try to make a run for those ports. How on earth are we going to get down to this beautiful creature without drawing the attention of the ape? Well, I guess first things first, let's grab this bunny, and then we'll try to sneak Amanita away. She does have the spots, so she should be able to blend in pretty well with the scenery. Though I think technically they are on the grasslands tiles right now, so it might not even work in their favor. Well, Phantom, let's cross our fingers that she doesn't run away from you. Then you can very quickly invite her to our tribe, so she can run down the shore in your shadow. Did I just do that? Oh my gosh, Phantom! I didn't mean for you to breed with her too. Oh, I was going to click on Phantom to have him run after Amanita, but instead, it would appear as if these two are very, very smitten with each other. At such a chaotic time as well. This is definitely not the time for you two to start thinking about a family. I guess Phantom wanted children more than he was letting on, but Amanita is going to be heartbroken if she finds out. Luckily, I think they should be far enough away that we won't have to worry about the big-eyed ape coming after them, but we are really going to have to watch their shadow. Oh, so much drama going on by our bandits, and all for such a silly mistake. But I guess that means that the next episode is going to be quite interesting indeed. Not only do we have to guide Water Lily down to the healing fruits, and we'll have to continue Goldenheart's family too. Though we do have plenty of areas for them to set up their babies and keep that home island gene alive. So I think that'll be a good place for them to investigate. And it should be awfully nostalgic for Hibiscus too, because it's so close to where he was born. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!